Well, the World Series picks back up tonight from Chavez Ravine. LA Dodgers welcome Toronto Blue Jays for Game 3. It's the 13th time the Dodgers have played in a World Series in Dodger Stadium. 60 years ago, an Idahoan stood in that same spotlight, playing for baseball's top prize. Harmon Killebrew of the Minnesota Twins from small-town Payette faced the same task of taking on a high-powered Dodgers team. Killebrew did hit one home run in that series in Game 4 in Dodger Stadium off Don Drysdale. However, the Twins would lose the series in 7 games. And Killebrew, well, that would be his last chance at a title. But in terms of lasting legacy, Killebrew more than left his mark on baseball and humanity. And it's the subject of a brand new documentary set to air on Idaho Public Television next week. Joe Paris learned more about it.
Drysdale gets 2 quick strikes on Killebrew in the Twins' 4th. Then the killer connects, and he knows it's gone. It sailed high and deep into the bleachers for at least a 420-foot drive.
It's been 60 years since Harmon Killebrew belted a World Series home run at Dodger Stadium, an Idahoan at the center of the sporting world.
To describe Killebrew, he would be like one of the superstars of our time, just in the 60s. He was, for that 10-year period, he was one of the best players. You know, he was right behind probably Mantle and then a couple others.
Eric Westrom is producer, writer, and editor of a new Idaho Experience documentary focused on the Idaho baseball legend.
So I grew up as a baseball fan, and I'd heard the name Harmon Killebrew before. I think one of my grandfathers had probably given me a book, and at that time Killebrew was, I don't know, 4th or 5th all time as a home run hitter. And I grew up in Montana, close to Idaho, and I thought, oh, this guy's from Idaho. Oh, that's cool. And it was something that was in the back of my head for a long time.
Harmon Killebrew, Idaho's big-hearted slugger on Idaho Public Television, explores a legacy that extends far beyond baseball. A former KTVB staffer, Westrom heard the stories from a familiar voice.
A former anchor here, Mark Johnson, was good friends with Harmon, and so we'd do these stories, and I'd be like, oh, he does some really nice stuff away from the field, and I was like, that's really cool. That's something we should know about.
Killebrew passed in 2011, but his name remains a powerful force for good.
The Killebrew-Thompson Memorial Golf Tournament, which was founded, one of his teammates and friends, Danny Thompson, died of cancer, and he wanted to do something because not a lot was being done in the field of cancer research at that time, and that's 49 years later, here we are, still going, and they've raised close to like $25 million. Then you also have the Miracle Fields that are across the country, but there's also one in Payette, and they're designed for kids and adults with special needs to play baseball.
Baseball was a vehicle for Killebrew to help thousands, but as the documentary follows, it's a story of happenstance and persistence for arguably the Gem State's greatest pro athlete, one that could have easily never happened.
Yeah, if it wasn't for a U.S. Senator at the time, Herman Welker, who kept bothering the Washington Senators owner, hey, I've got this, I know this kid from where in Idaho that's so good, you have to go see him. And he kept pushing and pushing, and finally the owner got tired, and he sent his head scout out here to see him. And that's another story there. You know, he came out to see Killebrew play, and it's raining, and they're trying to, like, he came all the way from Washington, so it's like they kept waiting and waiting, and the legend is they burned gasoline on the field to dry it out. Eventually he got to see him play, and he belts like this 400-plus foot home run as a 17-year-old kid, and he calls back to Washington and says, we've got to sign him.
The rest is history.
Yeah, the rest is history.
And I left from this train station here in Payette and went to the big leagues.
In popular culture, Killebrew also had a unique claim to fame. A full hour dedicated to him on Late Night with David Letterman.
He was originally supposed to be on the show, I believe it was 1984, 85. Got bumped because a guest ran long on a segment. Letterman felt bad, invited him back, and did a full hour on Harmon Killebrew, which, according to Mark Johnson, has never been done before or since. And I couldn't find anything. I looked, and I was like, this is something.
Westrom says it's what he did off the field that made him truly special. They saw his impact firsthand on everyone they met and interviewed for the show.
I think you see like a complete picture of a person. It's not just all these accomplishments on the field. They were amazing, and he winds up as a Hall of Fame player, but it's after his career, you know, what we were just talking about, like working for, like, wanting to help cancer research, wanting to help special needs, like kids and adults.
Harmon Killebrew, Idaho's big-hearted slugger, airs Thursday, November 6th at 8:30, and then again Sunday, November 9th at 7:30 on Idaho Public Television. It'll also be available for streaming on November 6th at PBS's app or their online video.idahoptv.org. There's also, Brian, what I found was most interesting, a special screening in Payette next Thursday as well. Nice. And they have a lot of things included in the documentary we didn't touch on, like the story of the longest home run hit in Metropolitan Stadium history, why he couldn't actually sign his first professional contract, and a special song that Paul Schaefer actually wrote just for his appearance on the Letterman Show.
Check all that out in. And the Killebrew Thompson Memorial every August in Sun
August.
Valley. Yeah.
$25 million. It's unbelievable.
Big name show up there. Big
Chris Berman's in the documentary. They interviewed him up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. All right. Thanks, Joe. We'll look forward to that.